She lost her daughter's birthday celebration until a mysterious millionaire arrived at 3 a.m. The clock struck 3. Silence hung in the air like a heavy fog, choking the warmth of vibrant balloons and joyful memories. Jennifer sat alone, heart pounding, her tears watering the table strewn with untouched birthday cupcakes. It was supposed to be a magical night for her little girl, filled with laughter and sparkling candles. Instead, the only sounds were the distant wail of sirens echoing through the darkened streets and the hollow tick-tock of the clock, each tick a reminder of her failure. She had lost everything in a blink. A sharp rustling noise cut through the silence. Startled, she turned towards the front door. A figure appeared in the doorway, half lit by the moon's eerie glow, an outline cloaked in shadows. He stood tall, wearing an expensive suit that appeared almost out of place in her modest neighborhood. The man's eyes glimmered, reflecting a curiosity that made Jennifer's skin crawl. Who was he? Why was he here? Cold dread curled into her stomach. Was he here to mock her? To laugh at her grief? "You look like you need some help," he said, his voice smooth, almost too calm for the chaotic night. It dripped with a confidence that made her shoulders tense, but something more pulled at her. The way he spoke felt almost like a promise, a whisper of possibility hiding just beneath the surface. Then, he stepped closer, and she could see his features more clearly. Dark hair, chiseled jaw, and a hint of mischief in his smile. A millionaire? It was absurd. Who would show up at a stranger's house at 3 in the morning claiming to be a knight in shining armor for a child's birthday party? "What do you want?" she croaked, battling an odd mixture of fear and hope clawing at her throat. He chuckled softly, a sound so unexpected it pierced through her tension. "To save a birthday, if you let me." Jennifer stared, the weight of her despair pressing down like a vice. She had nothing to lose. This was the moment she had to decide: take a leap into the unknown or nestle back into her grief. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Just follow my lead." "Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. Jennifer swallowed hard, her heart racing. Did she really want to risk it all on this mysterious stranger? She could almost feel the thrill in the air, the sheer edge of excitement tingling at her fingertips. But what if this was a mistake? What if he was really sending her deeper into despair? The man stepped aside, extending a hand that shimmered with an odd sort of charisma. "Come on, Jen. Let me show you a world beyond sorrows." Her breath caught as she reached out, every instinct screaming at her to be cautious. Was this the moment her life turned around, or was it just the beginning of another nightmare? And as she took that first small step forward, she couldn't help but wonder just how far down the rabbit hole would this go? As Jennifer took a tentative step into the chilling night, she felt a shiver crawl up her spine. The man's grip was surprisingly warm, grounding in contrast to the frost of despair that had settled around her heart. "Trust me," he said, and for the first time, she noticed a flicker of sincerity in his deep-set eyes. Before she could respond, he pivoted, drawing her into the darkness of her front yard. There, gleaming under the moonlight, was a sleek black car pulsing with unnatural energy. The kind that screamed not just wealth, but influence, power, a promise of change. "What is this?" she managed to ask, her voice an uncertain whisper. "Your ticket to a brighter tomorrow," he replied, opening the back door. "Get in." Every neuron in her body flared with caution. Yet, the haunting memories of the empty birthday party still echoed in her mind, reminding her of her daughter's disappointment. She hesitated, torn between fear and the desperate need for something, anything to fill the void. "Please, it's just a car ride," he urged, a hint of urgency creeping into his voice. She took a deep breath, then slipped inside, her heart racing as the door clicked shut behind her. The interior was luxurious, plush leather caressing her senses, calming her anxiety just a bit. As the man slid in next to her, the driver peeled away from the curb, the tires humming against the asphalt. "Where are we going?" Jennifer felt the need to ground herself, to hold on to some semblance of reality. "To make your daughter's dreams come true," he replied, his smile widening. "I know what she wants for her birthday." His words flickered like a light in the dark. "You do?" "Of course. I've been watching. I know everything about you both. The kids' parties, what she loves." Her skin prickled. "Watching? You've been watching me?" "Relax, Jennifer." There was that calming tone again, lowering the alarm bells ringing in her head. "I just have access to resources that can create an experience unlike anything you've dreamed of." Jennifer's breath caught. "What do you mean?" He leaned closer, his voice a soft purr. "Imagine a birthday party that would make her sparkle with joy. A royal celebration, filled with everything her heart desires: friends, games, gifts that shine brighter than the stars. All it takes is some planning. And, of course, money." A twinge of hope shot through her, mingled with fear. "What's the catch?" "Catch?" he repeated, laughing lightly. The sound was both charming and unsettling. "There's always a catch, isn't there?" His gaze turned piercing, and something in his expression shifted. The charming millionaire facade was momentarily overshadowed by a darker intensity. "But what's an ideal birthday without a touch of sacrifice?" The car slowed, and shadows danced outside her window. Paranoia tightened its grip around her thoughts. What kind of sacrifice? The smooth ride became a roller coaster of emotions, anticipation and dread battling for control. "Sacrifice?" she echoed, her voice quaking. "Don't worry. It won't be anything you can't handle." He leaned back, that smile lingering on his face, but it felt different now, almost predatory. As they pulled into an ornate driveway illuminated by grand chandeliers, Jennifer felt the weight of her choices crashing down around her. What door was she about to open? Before she could ask another question, the door swung open and laughter spilled in, echoing brightly against the sinister undertones lurking beneath. A crowd of children spilled over a lush green lawn, joy glowing in their eyes. "Let us go show your daughter a birthday she won't forget." The moment hung in the balance, a knife edge between the thrill of possibility and the dread of the unknown. She stared at the bright faces before her, the innocence of childhood illuminating the darkness. Would this gamble for joy lead to salvation? Or would it unleash new horrors? And as she stepped out of the car, one burning thought flashed in her mind. What sacrifices waited in the shadows, ready to emerge when she least expected it? The laughter of children danced around her as Jennifer took her first steps on the manicured lawn. For a moment, she felt suspended between enchantment and the dread still coiling inside her. Brightly colored balloons bobbed against the night sky, their vibrant hues a stark contrast to the swirling clouds looming above. "Come on, Jennifer," the man urged, his voice almost cheerful against the enchanting backdrop. "Let us not waste any more time. Your daughter is waiting." Her heart thundered in her chest. Was this truly for her daughter? Could this strange arrangement satisfy her need? As she pushed her doubts aside, they walked towards the throngs of excited children, their squeals echoing like an unsettling symphony. Will she really love it? Jennifer asked suddenly, fear creeping back in, gnawing at her resolve. The pressure was immense, and she could feel the weight of expectations bearing down on her. "I can promise you, she will be thrilled. Just watch." The man held a confident grin, but something in his expression suggested he reveled in her uncertainty. Before she could fully process, a rush of euphoria swept through the air. Her daughter, with sparkling eyes and a beaming smile, was zipping toward her with her friends in tow. "Mom! You made it!" Her daughter's enthusiasm was infectious, breaking through the tension that tangled inside her. "Look at all the games. And the cake. It's huge." Jennifer smiled, momentarily forgetting her fears, swept up in the joy of her daughter. The lavish decorations transformed her yard into something spectacular, and for a fleeting moment, she felt relief. This wasn't a simple party, it was a grand event designed for a princess. But as she turned to look back for the man, something shifted. He stood, watching from the shadows at the periphery of the gathering. Every laugh, every cheer, he was absorbing it all with a strange intensity. "Who is that?" one of the mothers whispered, glancing at the mysterious figure. Jennifer caught the hint of concern in her voice, a mirror to what churned within her. She felt the whisper of anxiety trailing behind her like a shadow, threatening to take away the moment. "Excuse me for a moment," Jennifer said, trying to brush off the unease. As she made her way toward the man, she noticed the cool night air had become weighted, heavy with secrets. "What do you want?" she asked, placing her hands on her hips, defiance coursing through her. He merely smiled, that unsettling glimmer still in his eyes. "I just wanted to see your reaction. Isn't it magnificent?" "I pulled a few strings, and here we are," he said, gesturing towards the chaos of laughter, fun, and her daughter, the glowing center of it all. "I have to know what's the real cost of this?" Jennifer's voice trembled, her thoughts racing. "Cost? It's simple. Just a small exchange," he replied, nonchalantly. "Nothing you can't handle." The laughter around her began to fade, replaced by the drum of her heart. What did he mean by exchange? Jennifer felt her stomach twist. What kind of exchange? He leaned in closer, the shadows deepening around them. "Every dream demands a price, Jennifer. You know that well by now, don't you?" The hint of a smile played on his lips, cold and knowing. As she pulled away to collect her thoughts, the sounds of joy seemed to drown out and the reality of the night became unclear. Her daughter's laughter echoed, promising joy while the man loomed behind, whispering uncertainties. The night took on a new semblance of tension, the shimmer of excitement now mingled with an edge of darkness. What had she unwittingly stepped into? And as doubt seeped into her heart, she knew nothing could prepare her for what was about to unfold. In that moment, the festivities continued to pulse around her, unaware of the storm brewing beneath. This wouldn't end well, would it? And with that, she realized the party was only just beginning, but so were her fears. What sacrifices were waiting around the corner, lurking in the darkness? The vibrant laughter of kids mingled with the crackling sound of fireworks popping in the distance, each explosion illuminating Jennifer's anxious face. A celebration that should have filled her with joy now felt tainted, the joyous sounds overshadowed by the shadows the man cast over her thoughts. His words lingered, a haunting echo of a deal she hadn't fully understood. "Mom. Look." Her daughter's voice pierced through the haze of her mind. Jennifer turned, startled as she saw her daughter bounding towards the waiting pool set up at the edge of the yard, a vibrant splash of color against the darkening sky. The sight was heartwarming, yet behind her joy lurked an unease that churned like a stormy sea. "Isn't this amazing?" Her daughter's face, radiant with happiness, painted a picture of innocence that made Jennifer's heart constrict. This was how it was supposed to be, yet here she was, entangled in a web of uncertainty. Jennifer forced a smile, the weight of expectations tightening her chest. She had orchestrated everything, even if she had relied on someone else's ambition to lift it off the ground. But now she felt like she'd handed over the reins to someone she couldn't trust. She stole another glance at the man, still lingering at the fringes, his icy smile unfaltering. Each laugh echoed around them while dread pooled in her stomach. What had he promised that would lead him to watch so intently? What was she really offering in exchange for her daughter's happiness? As thoughts spiraled, her daughter tugged at her hand, pulling her toward the crowd of children. "Come on, Mom. You have to try the cake. It's like a mountain of icing." With a heavy sigh, Jennifer followed her daughter. Pulling herself together, she reminded herself that this event was about her daughter, not the strange man lurking in the background. Still, the man's shadow danced around her, darkening what should have been a beacon of joy. As they approached the dessert table, Jennifer could hardly focus on the lavish cake. "Just 3 more hours," she whispered to herself, counting down until the night would close. Surely, things couldn't get worse, but the air crackled with tension, the laughter felt hollow, and she sensed her daughter's thrill wouldn't shield her from the impending storm. She turned back instinctively, catching the man staring at her with a calculating gaze. The chill swept through her again, freezing her attempts to shake off the unease. Why was he so fascinated by her reaction? And then it happened. A loud crash shattered the moment. One of the decorations had toppled over, sending balloons fluttering wildly into the air. In the chaos, a child shrieked, tears erupting as the vibrant splashes of color scattered across the lawn. Jennifer's heart raced. A ripple of fear raced through the crowd, whispers igniting the air. She turned just in time to see her daughter frozen, wide-eyed, staring at the commotion. "Mom, what happened?" "It's okay. Just a little mess." Jennifer instinctively put her arm around her daughter, but she felt panic clawing at her throat. The man stepped forward, his smile shifting to something far more sinister, an excitement dancing in his eyes. "Ah, the true nature of parties. The chaos is what makes them truly memorable, isn't it?" "Don't." Jennifer shot back, as if berating an unwelcome intruder. But the words didn't quell the throbbing pulse in her temples. The air was thick with unspoken dread, and deep inside, a voice warned her this was only the beginning. "I think we should get this party back on track, don't you?" He advanced, and for a moment, Jennifer felt like backing away from the very fabric of the night, unspooling right before her. Suddenly, the lights flickered. The tent flapped ominously in the breeze. Children's laughter turned to nervous giggles. The man smiled wider, and the threat of uncertainty loomed closer. Jennifer's heart pounded, each beat matching the impending sense of doom. What kind of celebration had she invited? And as the ground beneath her trembled, she knew something with deeper shadows was ready to unfold. "Just hold on," she whispered, glancing at her daughter. "We need to find out what is happening." But was she ready to confront what lurked deeper in the corners of the night? The air crackled louder now, charged with a fear that radiated from Jennifer's entire being. She squeezed her daughter's hand just a little tighter, feeling the tiny fingers tremble beneath her protective grip. The once playful atmosphere had shifted. The laughter faded like a forgotten song, and dread seeped into every crevice. "Mom, why are you worried?" her daughter questioned, eyes wide with innocence, still blissfully unaware of the impending doom threatening to unravel their night. Jennifer forced a smile, bending down so her eyes met her daughter's. "I'm just making sure everyone is safe," she said, but even to her own ears, her words sounded weak. The man had moved closer, the shadows casting him in a deeper obscurity. He leaned down, his eyes glinting like shards of ice. "We can't let a little chaos ruin the fun. Do you know what I always say? Embrace the unexpected." His presence suffocated her. Jennifer felt the ground shift beneath her, heavy with unseen weight. As the lights flickered again, a low growl of thunder echoed, making the tent rattle. Dark clouds crept over the moon, extinguishing its silver glow, thickening the dread that lined her spine. Panic flared in her chest. She knew deep down this wasn't just about a broken decoration or a few scattered balloons. This was a manifestation of the deal she hadn't understood. Looking past the man, she searched the crowd, hoping for a familiar face. A sign of reassurance. The children had begun to whisper among themselves, eyes darting toward the canopy of shadows that surrounded them. One little boy, trembling, tugged at his mother's shirt. "I want to go home." Their mother glanced nervously at Jennifer, her face a mixture of worry and disdain. Jennifer felt heat rise in her cheeks. How had it come to this? "Listen," she said, voice steady as she faced the crowd. "Everything is fine. We're going to keep having fun, okay?" But the words fell flat as the lights blinked once more and the electricity flickered out completely, plunging them into darkness. A collective gasp echoed throughout the tent. "Mom!" her daughter cried, fear painted on her tiny face. "Shoo, it's okay. Just hold on to me." Jennifer felt the thrill of desperation clawing at her throat. They inched closer together, and the chaos of the outside blended with the unknown that was tightening its grip around them. "Let there be light." The man's voice boomed, echoing theatrically against the silence. Suddenly, a burst of artificial illumination scattered across the darkness, revealing faces twisted in both awe and concern. The man stood center stage now, relishing the spectacle with an unsettling glee. You see? Part of the fun of parties is learning to embrace the unexpected. What is wrong with you? Jennifer shouted, unable to contain her rage. This is supposed to be for the kids. Exactly. He leaned in closer, and a thrill ran through her as his voice dropped to a conspiratorial whisper. That makes it all the more delightful. Something cold coiled around her heart. Jennifer's instinct screamed to run, to snatch her daughter up and escape this nightmare. But she couldn't move, not when her daughter's small fingers still tightened in her grasp, and then, a distant sound broke through, the clamor of sirens wailing in the night. At first, Jennifer thought she had imagined it, but the clarity grew louder. The scattered balloons, the toppled decorations, the sudden darkness, the weight of it all had summoned the attention of someone outside. Was this her way out? Would help arrive before things descended further into madness? Don't you worry, Jennifer. A little chaos and excitement are just what this party needs. The man laughed, ignoring the cries of those around him. The cops were coming, but it felt like a cruel joke played in slow motion. They had no idea what was about to happen. The darkness loomed around them, heavier with uncertainty, and that sharp smile haunted her thoughts. Would they get out of this without losing everything? As the sirens crescendoed, Jennifer's heart raced with more than hope. It was laced with the fear that this was only the beginning. What came next was a ticking clock, and she didn't know how much time was left. A piercing scream shattered the tense atmosphere, echoing through the tent like a thunderclap. Jennifer's heart plunged as she turned toward the source. A little girl, no older than her daughter, had stumbled back, her face pale and wide-eyed with terror. The man took a step back, an eerie smile still plastered across his face. Now, he said, his tone patronizing. No need to be frightened. Just a minor bump in the adventure. Jennifer's grip tightened around her daughter's hand. Around her, others quickly huddled closer, forming uneasy clusters of fear. The sirens continued their relentless wail, a twisted soundtrack overlaying the chaos. Was help really coming? Mom, I'm scared. Her daughter whimpered. I know, baby. Just keep holding on, she replied, forcing confidence into her voice. But inside, terror clawed its way higher. The man turned his focus back to the crowd, seemingly unfazed by the mounting panic. Don't you see? A party without a little excitement is just a dull gathering. He waved his arms grandly, as if this was all some sort of twisted performance. A gust of wind blew through the tent, rattling the remaining decorations and echoing the disarray outside. It was as if the very world was aligning against them. Jennifer could feel the pulse of urgency push her thoughts faster, racing against the clock as she scanned the tent. Where are the adults? She thought, searching for a voice of reason. Across the room, several parents were either frozen in fear or desperately trying to console their children. They were all caught up in this surreal nightmare while the man reveled in the madness. Who even is he? One dad finally shouted, stepping forward, his fists clenched. Is this some kind of sick joke? The man raised an eyebrow, clearly entertained. Oh, just a humble guest seeking to provide a little entertainment. Entertainment? Jennifer bit back. How could he think this was fun? This isn't a game. Isn't it? He replied, voice dripping with sarcasm. What better way to test your bonds than when fear binds you together? Panic shrouded the room like a suffocating fog. Jennifer felt her heart thudding as her mind raced for options. They needed a plan, an escape. The exit was still a few feet away, but it felt miles beyond reach in this whirlwind of chaos. Then, unexpectedly, a flicker of hope ignited as she heard strains of police radios filtering through from just outside. The sirens grew louder, but so did the ominous laughter of the man. Why don't we spice things up a little? He called out, his grin stretching impossibly wide. Shall we see how brave our little partygoers really are? He leaned down, whispering in exaggerated effect, a haunting is the perfect way to create unforgettable memories. Her stomach twisted. As the sound of sirens grew near, the man stepped back, his eyes gleaming with a devilish delight. Umbra filled the air, and darkness seemed to pulse around him, demanding attention. Just then, the fabric of reality warped, tremors vibrating through the tent, suggesting something worse was still lurking underneath the facade. Go! She almost shouted to the crowd, willing them to act, to run. But they remained frozen as the ground shuddered even more violently, sending decorations tumbling down like fragile dreams. The man's laugh rang, resonating with glee, and Jennifer sensed danger bearing down upon them. What is happening? She gasped, realization screaming that this was about to escalate in ways she couldn't yet fathom. Soon, my dear Jennifer, you'll learn just how unexpected this night can truly become. The words hung in the air, heavy with foreboding, and as shadows dripped around him, the cord of fear tightened in her chest. But what she didn't know was that the most horrifying twist was still to unfold, lurking in the wind. The tent jerks violently again, the fabric flapping like a wounded creature. Jennifer barely keeps her footing, instinctively shielding her daughter from the chaos. Her mind races, caught between the fear of the man before them and the hope that safety is just beyond the exit. Everyone, please. She calls out, her voice trembling but firm. We can't just stand here. We have to get out. But the crowd seems paralyzed. The laughs and cheers they shared only moments ago had evaporated into the cold grip of terror. The man's eyes spark with cruel amusement, and he takes a slow, deliberate step towards Jennifer. Such passion. He mocks, but where could you possibly run? The night is filled with surprises. This is only just the beginning, my dear. The air thickens with dread. Jennifer's chest tightens, panic clawing at her thoughts. The little girl, still shaking with fear, clings to her mother tightly. Mom, I don't want to die. Shoo, baby, you won tea, Jennifer whispers, trying to keep her voice steady, though her resolve feels like it's fraying with every heartbeat. The man begins to twirl in a circle, his arms open wide, the shadows in the dimly lit tent deepening. Look around you. Do you not see the magic? The spectacle unfolding? I promise you it's unforgettable. His voice carries a hypnotic quality, wrapping around the tent's occupants like a vice. Jennifer glances toward the entrance, where dim lights flicker, the police still outside. Could they even hear the commotion? She feels time slip away, the seconds stretching like elastic. The man's laughter echoes, the sound a sickening reminder of his control. Each giggle feels like a knife to her gut. Enough. A voice finally breaks through the haze of chaos. A brave mother steps forward, standing tall, a fierce look in her eyes. We're not your entertainment. You need to let us go. The man pauses, eyes narrowing at the challenge. Ah, but that's where you're mistaken. You are the players in my game now. Fear makes a wonderful stimulant. No. We're not playing. Jennifer shouts, gaining a spark of courage from the mother's stand. This is our night. You can't take that away from us. Take away? He grins wildly, and suddenly, the lights flicker, plunging them into near darkness. The sound of glass shattering erupts from the back of the tent, and screams punctuate the air. A shroud of panic rolls back over the crowd. People scramble to find one another, the horrified faces blurring into one another as they search for family. Jennifer's heart races as she feels her daughter's grip slipping. No. In that fleeting moment, Jennifer lunges forward, eyes scanning frantically for danger and for her daughter. Darkness wraps around her, but she can't lose sight of the little hand she clings to like a lifeline. With a surge of desperation, she pushes through the chaos. Can anyone hear me? We have to. The man's laughter booms, resonating like a thunderstorm. And now begins the next act. Suddenly, the tent's entrance billows open with a force, revealing a fleeting flash of lights from police vehicles just outside. But something else catches her eye, something unusual. A shadow darts into the tent, bold and unexpected. A figure moves with purpose while chaos reigns. Jennifer squints, trying to see. Who is that? Such drama. The man shouts playfully, spinning to the new arrival. Welcome. You're just in time to join the fun. The new shadow shifts further into the light, revealing a dense presence. Fear mingles with curiosity. What could this mean? Was it help or another part of the nightmare that unravels before them? Her heart races with fear and hope swirling dangerously in her chest. The night was spiraling out of control. What revelations awaited them next? Stay close. She commands her daughter, eyes fixed on the newcomer. What was this new twist in a night already dripping with horror? The stakes are rising, and the game has only just begun. The figure stepped forward, breaking free from the shadows. Jennifer squinted against the dim light, barely able to make out a face. Suddenly, a bright beam from a flashlight pierced the darkness, illuminating the newcomer. It was a woman, tall and poised, with dark hair cascading down her shoulders. She wore an elegant dress that seemed out of place amidst the chaos, as if she had just walked off a red carpet and into a nightmare. Her confident demeanor contrasted starkly with the frantic panic surrounding Jennifer. Hold on. The woman shouted, her voice cutting through the din like a knife. I'm here to help. Jennifer's heart pounded, hope flickering and expanding within her. Could this woman really be their salvation? As she instinctively pulled her daughter closer, she couldn't shake the feeling that there was something uncanny about the stranger. Who are you? Jennifer managed to shout, the words barely breaking through the noise of distortion in the tent. Powerless fear clawed at her again. She couldn't let this opportunity slip away. Just a friend. The woman replied, her eyes scanning the crowd. But to help you, we need to act fast. This man is not what he seems. The man's laughter echoed wildly, rising above the terror, a twisted melody of madness. Not what I seem. Oh, my dear, I assure you, I am exactly what I appear to be. And this is my domain. He stepped closer to Jennifer, and instantly, the crowd recoiled, sensing the danger radiating from him. The air felt charged, as if a storm was about to break. The tension became palpable, wrapping around them all like the thickest fog. Fear is such a lovely ingredient, he crooned, his gaze locked on the newcomer. Who knows what delightful scenes we can create right here? Jennifer shivered at the thought, clenching her daughter tighter. No. Not while I'm here. She yelled, channeling every ounce of courage she had. The woman faced the man, her expression unwavering, yet something flickered in her eyes, intelligence, and perhaps, a hint of knowing. Your game is over. You've terrorized these people long enough. Jennifer felt adrenaline surge within her. Could this woman really challenge him? Game? He repeated, feigning ignorance, but the wicked grin tugging at his lips gave him away. How adorably naive. There are no rules. Only survival. Before Jennifer could process his words, the sound of frantic whispers broke through the chaos around her. People were edging toward the exit, motivated by the new arrival and the spark of hope she ignited. Follow me. The woman shouted. We have to get to safety. But just as the crowd began to heed her words, the lights flickered once more, and the tent shuddered violently. A mournful wail echoed from somewhere deep within the darkness, sending a ripple of panic through everyone. Stay together. Don't panic. Jennifer urged, her voice rising above the din. But doubt encroached as she glimpsed the unshaken expression on the woman's face. The man, seemingly invigorated by the chaos, stepped back, his arms stretched wide, a malevolent ringmaster commanding the scene. You underestimate the thrill of the unknown, my dear. This is just getting interesting. As if in response, the ground beneath them quaked, causing Jennifer to stumble. Her daughter cried out, and in that instant, Jennifer's heart dropped. The girl was slipping from her grasp. No. With a desperate lunge, she reached for her daughter, but another force pulled her away, first to the woman, and then to the gripping shadow of the man who radiated danger like a wildfire. And then, as screams erupted again, the roof above them buckled, light and darkness twisted together in an unstoppable fury. Panic bloomed in Jennifer's chest when she realized she might lose everything she held dear to that looming specter of madness. Trust me, the woman insisted as she grabbed Jennifer's arm, pulling her and her daughter towards the back of the tent. If we're going to escape this, we need to take control. What control was left? Before Jennifer could respond, the man's laughter erupted one last time, echoing through the chaos that danced at the edge of oblivion. Who's ready for the finale? With the world crumbling around her, Jennifer faced an uncertain fate. Would they find true escape, or was there something darker waiting in the shadows? Together they rushed forward into the unknown, clutching the fragile flicker of hope. What would they discover next? The ground trembled beneath them as the tent twisted like a grotesque creature, desperate to free itself from the chaos. Jennifer's heart raced, and she felt a rush of terror surge through her veins. The darkness seemed to pulse with malignant intent, an unseen force lurking just out of reach. Keep moving. The woman urged, her grip on Jennifer firm and unwavering. They veered to the right, ducking under a collapsing support beam that groaned ominously above their heads. As they sprinted, Jennifer still felt the panic of others brushing past her, a wild torrent of fear and desperation. Mommy. Her daughter's voice pierced the chaos, filled with raw panic that made Jennifer's blood run cold. Hold on tight. She shouted back, frantically searching for her child. The throng swelled and swirled around them like a storm, blotting out sight and sound. At that moment, self-doubt clawed at her resolve. What if her daughter got caught in the chaos? What if they were sprinting toward a trap? But the woman beside her pushed forward, her confidence almost palpable. Fewer words, more action, she said, her voice an anchor in the storm. Just trust me. They stumbled into a more open space at the back of the tent, the shadows looming behind them as the chaos swirled unwaveringly around. Jennifer dared a glance back, catching sight of the man, his smile twisted into something wicked. He held his arms wide, reveling in the terror unfolding, as if orchestrating a macabre symphony. Such delicious fear, he murmured, making every hair on Jennifer's neck stand on end. But she couldn't dwell on that. Not now that I in front of them. A flickering light flickered atop a storage crate, an ember of hope in the swirling darkness. This way. The woman urged again as she sprinted toward it, dragging Jennifer and her daughter along in a tight grip. Mommy, I can't see. Her daughter cried, and the anguish in her voice clutched at Jennifer's heart. You're right here with me. I want to let go. She gasped, forcing calm into her voice even as panic surged through her. With each step, the chaos behind them increased. Shouts filled the air, blending into a cacophony of fear. Jennifer's breathing quickened, a panic-induced rhythm pounding in her ears. She focused on the light ahead, the flickering promise of safety. As they reached the crate, the woman turned abruptly, her eyes fierce as she faced the encroaching shadows. We have to buy time, she yelled, pulling an object from her dress, a silver pendant that caught the limited light, glimmering with an almost unnatural brilliance. What is that? Jennifer gasped, her heart in her throat. Hold on to it, the woman instructed, her voice urgent. It will help us repel him for a moment while we find a way out. Before Jennifer could protest, the woman thrust the pendant into her hand. The moment she grasped it, a surge of warmth flooded through her, a rush of inviolable strength that silenced her doubts for the first time. Now! The woman shouted, and the darkness surged forward, a tide ready to sweep them away. In an instant, the shadows recoiled at the touch of the pendant, and the man's laughter morphed into a howl of fury, breaking through the sounds of chaos. What? No! How dare you? His voice echoed ominously, and for a heartbeat, the tumult of fear retreated. But there was no time to celebrate the small victory. We must go, now. The woman urged again, urgency clawing at her voice. Jennifer was about to step back into the shadowy fray when a chilling realization gripped her daughter was still missing. The crowd was still in tumult, thrumming with emotion and desperation, and in that moment, she felt her heart fracture. Mommy. The little girl's voice broke through the noise, closer now, but hidden among the panicking people. A surge of panic thrust through Jennifer. She turned back toward the scrambling mass, desperately searching for her daughter's face. Go. I'll find her. Jennifer's voice came out louder than she intended, reverberating with determination. The woman hesitated for one agonizing second, her eyes darting back and forth. You could both be trapped. Trust me. But Jennifer shook her head, fire igniting in her chest. I can't leave without her. You need to help as many out as you can. I'll be back. Without another moment, she broke free from the woman's hold, navigating through the throng. Each step felt like wading through molasses, the panic threatening to crush her spirit. Hold on, baby. She called out, her heart hammering against her ribs. The shadows behind her pulsed with dark intensity, but in that flickering light of the pendant, Jennifer felt the spark of hope again. Would she reach her daughter in time, or would the darkness swallow them all whole? What awaited her in that seething crowd, and would they all escape before the nightmare unveiled its true face? The chaos swirled around Jennifer like a tempest, each heartbeat an echo of urgency. She pushed through the crowd, searching desperately for her daughter among the throng of terrified faces. Mom! Where are you? Her daughter's voice ricocheted through the air, a sound that pulled Jennifer like a lifeline. She fought through the panic, breaking into a sprint as she called back, I'm here, baby. Keep calling for me. Just ahead, a flurry of children huddled together, eyes wide with fear. They clung to each other, a small fortress of innocence within the turmoil. But still, no sign of her daughter. Her heart raced, fear clawing at her throat. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. They had planned for joy, not fear. The man's laughter echoed behind her, every laugh twisting her stomach, reminding her of the darkness creeping closer. Mommy. There it was again. That familiar voice, wrapped in desperation. It gave her strength. She fought through the crowd, grasping at arms, shoulders, anything to push her way forward. Just hold on, sweetie. I'm coming. Then she spotted her daughter, hair bouncing as she pushed her way through a cluster of kids, panic-stricken but determined. Relief washed over her, a tidal wave that lifted her despair. There. Adrenaline surged in her legs as she surged forward, the world around her fading until only her child mattered. Mom. Her daughter's eyes lit up, hope blossoming on her face as she stumbled forward. Baby. Jennifer scooped her up in a tight embrace. It felt as if the very air transformed, all fears momentarily cast aside in the warmth of her daughter's presence. I've got you. I'm right here. But just as they began to pull away, the lights flickered back to life, harsh and blinding, revealing the man standing a short distance away, silhouetted against the chaos. What a reunion. He called, his voice dripping with mockery. So touching, isn't it? A mother's love. But how much are you willing to sacrifice for it? Jennifer felt the pendant burning in her pocket, a reminder of the woman who had come to help. But now she had to protect her daughter. The man was approaching, drawn by the energy of their reunion. Stay behind me, Jennifer whispered, shielding her daughter with her body, heart racing as she stared down the figure who reveled in fear. What do you want? You know the answer to that. He grinned. I want to see what fear can unfold, what bonds can be tested. Not today, she shot back, sudden resolve washing over her. You don't have power over us. The man's laughter rang through the tent, and suddenly, shadows surged forward, dark tendrils wrapping around her feet, trying to pull her into the darkness. She stumbled, finding her footing amidst the chaos, holding her daughter even tighter. No. Her daughter cried. Mom, what is happening? Just hold on. I want to let go. Jennifer shouted, thrusting her chin up defiantly. The echo of the pendant lingered, filling her with courage as she conjured thoughts of light and warmth. Then she noticed the woman, still at the far side, wrestling with the darkness as it spooled farther out, but her grip on the pendant tightened. Now! She shouted, urgency lacing her voice. She raised the pendant high, the shimmering light piercing through the shadowy figures. Mommy! Her daughter gasped, frozen as light exploded from the pendant, a beam of pure radiance cutting through the darkness. The tendrils recoiled, shrieking in rage, releasing their grip on her feet. Hold me. Hold me tight. Jennifer cried as she hugged her daughter, that bond of love becoming a shield. As light burst forth, she felt the shadows evaporate like mist in the sun. The cacophony of chaos faded, and the tension in the air dissipated. In moments, the man's expression twisted from glee to pure fury, his form shrouded in the brilliance pouring from the pendant. No! He screamed, vanishing into the depths of shadow, leaving behind an eerie silence, the once oppressive darkness now a mere whisper. The 10 around them transitioned, illuminated by flickering lights, laughter resumed, but this time a sound. Familiar. The children were tentatively peeking out from their hides, eyes filled with wonder as the cool night air wafted through the remnants of chaos. With a gentle squeeze, Jennifer looked down. Her daughter's face was a mirror of disbelief and joy. We did it! She exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. I knew we would, baby, Jennifer whispered, holding her closer, exhaling the last remnants of fear that still clung to her. From the shadows, the woman appeared again, strides confident and bold. Her presence felt reassuring. You were brave, she said, her voice steady. But we must always stay vigilant. With every triumph, darkness will find other forms to attack. I don't understand, Jennifer said, feeling something warm within her. You helped us, thank you. But who are you? A guardian of sorts. You have faced the darkness tonight, not alone but with love. Help it stay that way, and keep watch over your bond with your daughter. There's strength in love that fear can never conquer. As she spoke, Jennifer felt something cement into her heart, a deep understanding blossoming against the world's despair. This life was precious, it needed to be nurtured. Thank you, Jennifer whispered, teardrops glistening like stars. With a knowing smile, the woman's presence blurred, shadows curling gently around her as she departed into the twilight. Come on, Mommy. Her daughter chirped, taking her hand. Let us celebrate. Looking around, Jennifer realized the night wasn't over. Friends began to gather, laughter filling the air again in bursts of joy. But this time, it was woven with the fullness of knowing what they had fought through. Together, Jennifer whispered, squeezing her daughter's hand. The darkness may have come, but it had only made their bond stronger. They stepped forward, ready to create memories that would shine through both light and shadows, promising joy unlike anything ever felt. And as they joined the thrumming heartbeat of celebration, Jennifer couldn't shake the feeling that they had just begun to embrace a life filled with love and adventure, always remembering the balance between light and dark. But beyond the horizon, shadows lingered, patiently waiting to carve out another tale. You need to subscribe now so you don't miss amazing stories just like this. Smash the like button now to help this channel grow and feed the algorithm. Your support makes a world of difference. Flood the comments section with your reactions and theories about tonight's shocking adventure. And for true fans, this is the moment to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to experience this captivating journey. Don't wait even one more second to share. Spread the magic.